YouTube, B Smokehouse back here with you, and today we're going to be doing some chicken wings. Now I'm going to brine these, but first I'm going to cut them off in different sections and then give them a clean up, get these feathers off. Alright, I'll show you how I'm going to split them. So I usually open them. I see gristle here. Now I don't always get it perfect. Straight through that gristle. Alright. There we got a drum, a baby drum. Then again I find the gristle here. I go straight through it. That way we have flat. We've got the drum. Then I've got my wingtip. Some people leave these on. I take them off. I save them. I've got a Ziploc bag over here. These have a good amount of collagen in them. Whenever you're making a soup or you're making a stock, this gives off collagen, aka gelatin, and it gives some body to the stock, which will add body, a good mouthfeel to your soup. So I save these. When I get enough, I'll make me a stock. In the bag, these goes back into my restaurant pan. And ripping those feathers off. Go here, give it an open. Come straight down to the middle. I don't always get it perfect. Alright. I've got my orange peels. I've got about 4 cuties here. These going to be crushed and then thrown into the brine. I've got garlic. I've got cinnamon stick. I've got peppercorn medley. I've got a knob of ginger. I'm not going to really do much to this. I'm just going to set it off into that steeping brine. Now off camera, I weighed the wings, and 3% salt equal to just about 3/4 of a cup of salt. For this salt, you see it down in there? We're using sea salt, and then I just went with a whole cup of brown sugar. Over this pot, I've got it on a medium heat, and I'm going to go in with my peppercorn medley. These will pop, so you gotta either get a spoon in there and keep it moving, and then I'm going into my pot with those cinnamon sticks. This I'm going to turn my fire up a bit. Keep moving because the pot is still hot. And then we're going to take these. I'm going to get them into my water here that hasn't started boiling yet. Right? That's ensuring that those aromas, those flavors, will also go ahead and start seasoning this brine. Stay tuned. Alright, to this hot water, we're going to go ahead and add our sugar and our salt. Now, you'll see some people making a brine and they don't heat it up. That's one way to do it. What they'll do is they'll just mix and mix to make sure that the salt is all dissolved. And that is the same thing as a brine does. I'm taking this extra step because of those other aromatics that I'm using. And then you mix until that salt and that sugar is dissolved. In here already. So now I'm going to start going in. Those are the flavorings. These are the oranges. I'm going to crush it. See that? Crushing it. Again, guys, you can make your brine how you like to make it. Experiment with different flavors. This is all in the effort to bring more flavor to your chicken. Chicken can be quite bland when you don't introduce a lot of salt, right? These oranges are not going to get cooked. When I pull this chicken out in the morning, I'm going in with my, see that? I've got a nub of liquid over it. You'll start to smell those flavors. That's that garlic. That was about 4 garlic cloves that were smashed. Then we're going in with all the peels. Alright, and now I'm going to get that hot liquid over this, and then we'll give it a good mix. It's going to do a few things. Start to infuse that liquid and cool that liquid down. Here's my liquid. We're going in. Alright, let's give it a mix. Bring you guys down here with me. I've got some Baileys. I'll get 2 or 3 down in there. Smells like a tea is what it smells like. That's essentially what you're making. Alright. Those in. Alright. So now I'm going to drop my chicken wing. I'll wipe everything down with bleach here shortly. Alright, that's going to be about it for tonight, guys. I've got my chicken down there in that brine. Alright. Got my chicken down there in that brine. I've poured off the brine from this chicken. I want to show you something. This brine is more fragrant than it was yesterday. See, this was a frozen piece of, I keep forgetting the name of this, ginger. It is soft. I can press through it and it's fragrant. It has soaked up that brine and let off its juices. Smells quite delicious. I'm going to toss this. So we no longer need it. It served its purpose. And we're going to get these wings out. So I'm using this tray because it'll allow that cool air to come over and under these wings to help at least dry that skin out. Now, that's it. Stay tuned. Alright, we're going to get on to making our sauce. This is going to be an Asian zing sauce. Again, I'm not following a recipe, I'm just making my own. We're going to start it off with a base of mini sauces. It's going to be about a cup, hefty cup of ketchup. Alright. We're going to go with a splash of apple cider vinegar. Gonna go with some of that magic seasoning, MSG. Alright. Some brown mustard powder. That's that ground chili paste. It's gonna have a kick to it, however, we're gonna kind of mellow that kick out with some of the brown sugar. We're going to go in with add some sesame oil, hoisin sauce, oyster sauce. Both the hoisin and the oyster sauce will give this wing sauce a great body. A few splashes of fish sauce. And now we're gonna go in with some gochujang. Gotta be kind of easy with this. This also has some heat to it. Alright. That's a good teaspoon. And then we're going to come back after that with some soybean paste. Hefty teaspoon. Alright, so from here, We're gonna finish this. I'll round this sauce out with some good half cup to a cup of brown sugar. The only thing I'm going to do to this is put it on a burner, give it a good mix, and bring it together. I'll show you guys what it looks like once we finish. Alright, our next sauce is going to be a simple buffalo sauce. I'm going in with a half a stick of butter. We usually always have Frank's Red Hot Buffalo sauce hanging out. That bottle's gone. Alright. And then, because this generally has too much of a bite to it for some in my house, we're going to cap it off with this creamy buffalo dip, which has it's a bit of sweetness to the party. Alright, because it's got a bit of sugar and some cream in there. Other than that, we're going to get this on a fire. I'm going to get it that butter melted and get this sauce to the consistency that I like. Then I'm going to bottle it up, and it'll stay warm, or I'll leave it out at room temperature, and then probably reheat right before it goes on to my wings. You don't want to be using, you know, cold sauce on hot wings or hot pieces of chicken. Stay tuned. Alright, today we're going to be rolling on the Weber Smoky Mountain. No water pan. We're going to attempt to grill these wings direct, or as direct as you can get on the Weber Smoky Mountain. The bottom of the charcoal pan, I have Kingsford Blue Bag. Then I top that off with some off-brand lump charcoal. I like the flavor, and it holds that heat a bit better than the regular charcoal can. Other than that, we're going to start off with the bottom vents wide open, top vents wide open until I get up to temp. Trying to get it pretty high in between 275 and 300 degrees because I'm trying to crisp that skin up. Should not have an issue doing that. I'm going to try to fit the majority of the wings on that bottom rack here. Both of those racks need cleaning. I'll bring you guys back when I'm getting them on. Alright, here's what our chicken is looking like. Getting ready to go ahead and put it on that Weber Smoky Mountain. I'm going to try to fit all these on that bottom rack so they are closest to the fire, which means I'll be flipping them a bit more often because I don't want anything burning. So the finishing rub that I use, this has a little bit of beef powder, some salt, pepper, a little bit of white sugar. Smells awesome. Alright, here's what we're looking like. I just put the chicken on probably a few seconds ago. So I'm going to let this roll probably for the next 15-20 minutes before I come out here and give it a look. The middle is where I started my fire, so I know right above that's going to be a hot spot, which is why I put the Drummettes over that hot spot. They can take a little bit more of that heat. We're going to let this thing rock. I'll bring you guys back when something changes. Alright, let's see where we're at. I want to check the bottom of something, make sure we ain't got no burning going on. We got some good color. Not going to turn them just yet. Remember that some of that rub that I use that I made towards the end does have a bit of sugar in it to help me get a little bit more color. Alright, so we're not gonna turn nothing just yet. We're gonna give it probably another 15-20 more minutes before we turn. Stay tuned. Alright, we're getting ready to pull these flats off. They're temping well above 180. So I'm just going to start grabbing them. And they got some nice crisp to them. See that? That fat has started rendering out of the skin. They're starting to crisp up. Got a nice crisp to them. Some of these are sticking, and I do believe that's because of the little amount of sugar that I decided to use. That's okay. They're not burning. That's all I'm really worried about. I did get a piece of that skin. It tastes awesome. Alright, I'll bring you guys back when I got these flats off of here. The Drummettes have probably about 5-10 more minutes to go. Alright, so the chicken is finished. Got some good color. Can you see that? Got some great color. Bit of char. Nothing's burnt. Smells absolutely delicious. I'm going to go ahead and get these divided up so I can go ahead and sauce them and so I can sit down and eat. No method to the madness, just trying to get an even amount in each bowl. Alright. Alright. Restaurant pan out of the way. And I'm going to go back and hit each one of these with the remainder of this rub that I have. Right here. Give it a dusting. And then one for the other. No real salt to speak of in this rub, so toss. Really, you could eat these just like this. However, you guys know I made that sauce. So for this first one, we're going to go in with what I'm calling Asian zing. Get it nice and covered. All right. Give it a toss. Smells good. You can smell a bit of that red Korean chili pepper in here. You can smell that little bit of that vinegar. And then we're going to finish this one off with some sesame seeds. Alright. That one's done. Let me put it to the side. Then this one, we're going to give it a toss. Alright, then we're going to finish it off with some of that buffalo sauce. Of course, I'll leave it left reserved for those that want theirs on the side. Give it a toss. And that's what we're looking like. You see that? Let me get one of each out so I can try it on camera. Alright. Smells like buffalo sauce. Definitely tastes like buffalo sauce. This has got some heat to it. That vinegar is pungent. Yet that butter kind of calms everything down. However, the butter kind of rounds everything out. Pretty delicious. Let's try one of the others. Can you see that? Give it a try. I know this one had some heat. I don't know if it's calmed down any. Pretty good. You get a bit of that char, those Asian inspired flavors. The sesame seed helps round it out. There's a bit of sweetness, there's a bit of acidity, there's a bit of background heat, but it's not too much. I'm also getting a bit of crispy skin. That's pretty good. That char helps everything out. Guys, if you haven't done so, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Till the next time, B Smokehouse out.